What is up, my AoE anarchists? Risen Dragon here with another fun video for you today. And today we're actually going over a game that I played during my stream. It was the last game that I played for the day, and I thought, let's close out with Celts. Well, at some point I randomly selected random, and I ended up with the Vietnamese. Now it's like, alright, this isn't a bad civ for me because I've played it in the past. I've played it during some casual games, and I actually had some pretty good results from it. So the big thing about the Vietnamese is they are an archer civilization, and Hera has actually recommended that beginners actually take a look at the Vietnamese when they're playing, because they have some very good advantages that really do play into it. So let's get into them. Enemy positions are revealed at the start of the game. This is excellent because now you don't really have to worry about your scout going under a TC without going under a TC and getting killed. I was almost say without consequence, but your scout accidentally wandering under a TC and getting killed, that's not really going to be an issue with the Vietnamese, unless of course you're like Icarus and you fly too close to the sun. You get your scout too close to the TC. It does happen. Economic upgrades cost no wood and research 100% faster. So not only do we save wood, which we then can use for farming, but also too we get research really that much quicker. All right, archery ranges, their units are 20% hit points, so we get our archers are slightly chunkier. We get conscription for free once we hit imp, so all of our stuff becomes a little bit more quickly trained. We have two unique units, the Rattan Archer, which we're going to go over in a second, and an Imperial Skirmisher, which you can see right there is better than an Elite Skirmisher because it deals, let's see, 4 damage and their range is 5. Yeah, so that's how that works. So, unique units or unique techs, Shatras, Battle Elephants are plus 100%. And paper money, lumberjacks slowly generate gold in addition to wood. So as far as the Vietnamese are concerned, we have the archery range. We have everything except for a hand cannoneer Parthian tactics, which is kind of That's right. Thumb ring, which of course is you're accurately firing at people. That's great. As far as our barracks are concerned, they're not a terrible infantry civ either. They've got all the upgrades. The only thing they're missing is gambesons, which actually, if we're up against archer civs and going under castles, they're not going to survive that much, but that's really not what we need them for. Instead, the barracks really do come in handy because it gives us more flexibility. We can just throw hordes of archers at them with some spears mixed in case they're like a cav civ, like as you're going to see in the game. A little bit of a spoiler. Yeah, it's the Vikings, but they're not really a cav civ, but they do throw cav at me and it works out fine. And they do get all the upgrades. They get supplies, they get squires, they get arson, those sorts of things. As far as stables are concerned, our cavalry is meh, but we do get the battle elephant and the husbandry. So the battle elephants, they're chunky, they can get converted real easily. I know they've nerfed some things with that, but the husbandry comes in and they can move pretty quickly. Siege workshop is also kind of meh. In fact, it's kind of weakish if you think about it. We only go up to capped ram and onager, but we do get bombard cannons, those sorts of things. Blacksmith is also, we get all the upgrades except for blast furnace, which obviously does affect our infantry and all that, but on the whole it's a pretty good early strategy, I think. Dock is also pretty good. You're missing shipwright, you're missing drillman, and fast fire ship. That's about it. As far as the university is concerned, we have everything except masonry and architecture, so our buildings are a little bit more brittle than others. We do have to take that into consideration as well. All of our towers are fully upgradable. The castle, the Rattan Archer, has high pierce armor, strong versus archers and infantry, and of course weak versus cavalry and skirms. We obviously have our petards. Shatras, we already went over that. And paper money, another great one as well. As far as our monastery is concerned, not terrible, but also not all that great either. We're missing fervor, so our monks are a little bit slow. We're missing redemption, so they don't get to convert buildings. And heresy is a big one too. We want people to die instead of just... I actually prefer them not, because there's nothing like using your opponent's own weight against them. It's like you convert a villain, they build a watchtower right in the middle of their base. It's like, I love doing stuff like that. Block printing also is another key one. It makes up for the fervor a little bit because you get a little more range. We get all the basic upgrades there. We don't get the gold shaft mining. We do get the stone shaft mining. We get pretty much all the upgrades there. So that is the tech tree for the Vietnamese. I do think they've got quite a few options. Again, they're more of an archery civ, but I think with the barracks, you can definitely do an early, militia man-at-arms rush to begin, and then you kind of soften them up for the archers to come in later. So that's a viable strategy. Maybe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But anyways, let's get into the game and see how we do. It's a really unique game because, again, I was not prepared to play the Vietnamese, but as I got into it, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see playing these guys again. So without further ado, let's get to the action. Let's get to the action. Alright, let's get to the game. We are speeding it up quite a bit through the Dark Age. We are playing VaSo from the Czech Republic. And this is, of course, me playing as the Vietnamese, which was a random pick, random civ. I meant to play the Celts, but hey, we end up with the Vietnamese instead. Go build some houses, and yeah, there's some idle TC time. My thought is if I can get my idle TC time under like 45 seconds, I'm good. I mean, yeah, we're still learning. We're at a 661. That's kind of where it ends up, and yeah, we'll see what happens here. We are fast forwarding through quite a bit, just so we can, for the sake of time. And then the loom comes in, and we do idle it for a few, just because we want to get up to there, and we do hit feudal. So yeah, minute and 12, not the best, but we start walling and we do some fun stuff. We get a barracks down, so on and so forth. He goes up to feudal before I do, and now we'll just slow it down a little bit. Alright, so now here, so you can see what I see. I'm on VaSo's point of view. So just so you can see what I see. I don't see the gap right now. But as you can see, I've scouted pretty decently. They've got some outposts there and some barracks as well. So the outposts, I'm a little bit like, I don't know about that. But anyway, so we go for the range first, and that's what we have to do with the Vietnamese. We want to get some ranges down. We want to get producing right away. But the problem is I quite can't because I don't have enough wood. So that's a problem. Oh wait, no, I do have enough wood. Oops, there I am. No, I'm right here. I don't know why I'm not producing. That's no good. Got to get that going. So yeah, I don't think I have enough wood. That's why. It's not like the Britons where you get where you get like some sort of bonus, but anyways. So yeah, definitely have to work on that quite a bit. We do get the double bit, and we do get the eco upgrades, but yeah, again, gotta get on that, Risen Dragon, gotta get on that. Just getting our stuff out as soon as we can, which we just don't do, because we're focused a lot right here on the production of that, so we still are not getting going. Oh, that's a problem. It's almost like I forget that it's like, oh hey, I have this built. Let's go for it. Now I start putting archers forward. Now I start throwing archers down. I think maybe just because I was trying to not house myself and get that going. So I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, so we have double bit and the horse collar. So we weren't going for any traditional like fast castle. We weren't doing any fast castle stuff or any shenanigans like that. Note here, I do have quite a bit of, still a sizable gap. We're even on Vils for the moment. Now I'm a little bit ahead. He's got 2 in the queue. We have 3 geared up there too, so we're working towards it. We're working towards it. I'm just trying to see what's happening there. Notice the gap. I think I finally do notice the gap, and I do have someone go over and try to deal with it. More archers coming out. They're going now. Vikings tend to have this interesting thing where, like, they say they're an infantry civ, but they're very much they have a very potent archer opening, which can do wonders. So I get housed. That's why I don't do a lot there. I do get housed, and it does affect me for a few minutes here. It's one of those things you got to keep an eye on as you go. But notice too, my scores are the scores are pretty not necessarily the most even. And I let my scout linger a little bit too much, but that's neither here nor there. We do start to maybe get fletching in. I think we started to do the armor, but I said no. Notice our idle TC times are pretty similar, so I feel like if I can at least, you know, start paying attention to that. And this villager is supposed to I'll be building farm. Nope, she is a lumberjack. I do start getting attacked there. These vills come over to defend, and we're just gonna go with it. Here I've got 5 archers. They're just kind of chilling. I'm actually just at this point just like, all right, I've seen your scouts. And again, my scout got killed, so I'm like, I'm not entirely sure what they've got going on. Probably should have got a little more aggressive. I do go up to feudal. Feudal to castle. I do go to castle. Did sell my stone. But no, kind of is what it is. All right, now I get a second range going, and now I decide, yeah, let's go forward. Let's go forward. Just a few steps, though. And again, I think here, it's like, I know I've got this hill right here. And this eventually is where we're going to start to see the action happening. So they go for supplies. I go for a gate. Which I don't know why I did that. I should have just... I think in the end I just end up deleting one of these walls here. Just to send the other archers out. So... But... Notice too, we have a lot on wood. 14, 18. So they're going more for the... They were going more for the food production route. And me, I'm just kind of chilling. With kind of seething a little bit because of the... it's the fact that, like, hey, I meant to play Celts, but here I am with the Vietnamese. Again, nothing too wrong with that. But, and then notice here, I do delete that right there, and I'm like, yeah, that's what we have to do. So I hit castle first. There's their, and there's the scout coming in, and they're gonna find very, very quickly that I have quite a few archers ready to go, and there it goes down. So there's our first kill. Idle TC still kind of a thing. We have the wheelbarrow coming in, archers coming in, and then we're gonna look to do crossbow as soon as we can get the res for it. But wheelbarrow comes in, and lots of vills coming in as well. I got 10 queued up. I just start flooding. I just start flooding there for the archers and stuff. So, and also for the vills as well. I start adding a lot of houses because, you know, and I think my thought here is as well, you know, they just add a little bit extra defense. I don't know, but now we start getting the mining stuff going with the stone, and they go for all the eco upgrades. Wait, we get the arson, which I was like, wait a minute, why did I do that? We get the crossbowman in, and the reason I went with the arson is because, as you'll see later on, it actually kind of does come into play a little bit. So now I go forward with these guys. I'm on the hill, and I'm like, and by the way, when you're on the hill, you do get quite a significant bonus being on the hill. I'm not sure exactly what the bonus is, but certainly one that is rather significant. And now, so here come the pikemen and the militia and all those people, and I'm like, oh, this is a good fight for me. This is a really good fight for me because archers versus militia, that is a huge win. And that's a huge advantage for me. So now I start getting some spearmen, then I get a pike. I get the pike upgrades. And again, I get the pikes because of the fact that I saw some scouts, and I'm like, all right, well, let's get a good mix here. Because I know that the Vikings like to go with... infantry, but also archers, but they do have a rather potent night rush as well. So getting some of those things in, I just take out the bear for no reason. But here I start to gain a little bit of map control, because this is the big hill that is between myself and also too. We have another one here and another one here. Now, honestly, if they had built something right here, it probably would have kicked these guys off, and it would have made my life a tad more miserable. But we see here, this is a good, and again, a good fight for me right here, as all these archers just get, they just go wreck on the, they just wreck the infantry. And that's obviously what you want. Now my pikes get upgraded. They're not really like upgraded, so to speak, but they are just, they're there. And that's what we need. We got a ton of crossbowmen coming out of one. I must have forgot to double click or something. But also too, notice my idle TC time is now, well, it was, now that I've got 2, and that's going to be kind of an issue now. It's going to start creeping up now that I've got 2, and I forget that, hey, that's what you're supposed to do. But also too, we get a lot of people on the stone, and we're starting to get that going. And now you have some pikes here. You have the archers, and if you look here, we got quite a few of our light calves, and we have some knights in there as well. So you'll see there are double stables. They are also at 2 TCs, but they're a little more open. And now I start taking out their outposts, and then in come the pikemen. They do take out a few of my archers. But here, this is why you gotta have a good mix, because notice they start going down. I get bodkin arrow. Another great fight for me right there. Another great fight. And now we get the castle up. And this right here is, but they also get a castle going right there. And it does range my own castle. But theirs is at the bottom of the hill. Mine is at the top. And notice too, now I've got our scores are pretty even. If you look at the res collected, they've collected about 1,000 more res than I have, but I've got the larger army. And also, I've got position here. Yeah, that castle's going to go up before mine, but there is something very much to be said about the fact that this castle on the hill is actually more advantageous for me than it is for VaSo. And you'll see that in a minute. Now here initially, it's like they just barely yard it, they barely gap it, or range it. I don't know why I've been using that term. But now, they go and they try to fight. They see that, hey, there's a castle here. I think they see it. Hold on a second. I want to make sure they see it. Oh yeah, they see that there's a castle there. But again, because I've got the pikes and I've got the archers, or crossbowmen, yeah, they do get an eco kill. But because of the fact that I've got more of a well-rounded army, now I've got the advantage. So this will go up, and they take a few points off of it, but it's still gonna go up. And then I start producing my rattan archers, and as you can see, yeah, it's not at full health, but also too, I've got the bodkin, so it's dealing 13 damage. This is dealing 13 damage versus 11 damage. And I'm on a hill, so that there is that advantage that I have as well. So we start to see, also to the idle TC stuff going way up, way up, way up. And they've got way more villagers than we do. But we also have more of an army, we have more of a presence. Yes, they're going to get some scorps in, but we now are going to start working our way toward Imp. So that is the other big thing too, is once we get into Imperial, it really does start to make a huge difference, obviously, because you get access to the trebs and stuff. Now they do get the long swordsmen, they do get the gambesons, which is good for the pierce armor stuff. But look at these bad layers here. The rattan archers have, you know, an incredible +4 pierce armor, so they can really stand up to any, you know, barrage of anything. So, and also we have 33. We have 33 for our army. Yeah, our eco production has suffered a little bit, but again, we've got positioning. And we're going to get some stables in too, because we want to get the elephants down. And then I think I built a lumber camp there, and I was like, we need more wood. And then I was like, no, wait, we need more gold. So now we start to get the Shatras in, and again, we start to, I think we do end up producing a few battle elephants too. Yes, we do. So notice too, my castle is not taking nearly as much damage as theirs is, because in fact they're on the bottom of the hill. I've got that hill. Now, had they seen this, I do have to wonder. Not say. Mix that up. There we go. All right. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So, I wonder if they did see that. No, they did see that, and they still didn't build over in that direction. That's weird. But anyways, so now we get to this, and now we start to produce trebs. And again, this is the game changer. You get to trebs, and you start to really do some damage. Now, again, I think if you're attacking this head on, you know, and here I'm building up my forces. I'm building up my forces here, and you attack this head on. I think a lot of beginner players, again, I fall into that category. They focus hyper much on one part, one aspect of the map, and they just continue to go with it. Now I've got their attention in the trebs, and now the berserkers come in with. And the berserkers come in with that. And these battle elephants are chonky. Our archers are also for archers. They're also quite chonky. Again, we get more hit points. And this castle just is now with the trebs. This castle's going down. And yeah, they do take out a few of my trebs, but they do take out my they take out one treb. I don't think they take out another. But castle falls. And soon after I crush their scorps, they're down to 9. I start advancing. That's game over. A lot to be taken away from this match. Like I said, I think for the most part, like VaSo did have the win. I feel like for much of the match, and I think that if I maybe had pushed a little bit harder in the early stages of the game with the archers and get those producing right away, it might have been it really was a coin flip. It really was a coin flip, this game. I really do feel like we got lucky on this one, but I do think map control was kind of a big thing, and for someone that was playing with a civ that I am not familiar with, just sticking to the basics of, you know, making sure you have the map control and making sure that you have the you know, making sure that you're controlling that area, I guess, making sure you're controlling the center and you demonstrate a presence there, almost like what we did in the last video. Economy-wise, you know, they had the advantage with wood and food. I had gold and stone down, pretty much all there. I did spend, you know, he did spend more gold than he did, or they did. We got up to feudal around the same time. I hit castle a little bit sooner, but it was the imp that really got me the win. You know, getting there before they did. was absolutely just crucial. They definitely had more vills than I did. However, like I said, there was, I was able to turn that into army. He had the advantage as far as APM, but only by 1, and we were tied with the military stuff. So overall, I do feel like this was, this was one of those wins where I was like, I probably could have. He probably could have fought on. I think. I mean, he had a huge advantage with the vills, and I think the big thing that maybe they lacked was the value of their units. I mean, the value was over 3. I had 3 times as high value of the military, and again, that relevance is that as you can read there, units that cost gold are often considered more effective than other units. So a high proportion of gold cost generally indicates that an army is stronger. I do think that was the case. I think the moment I got more trebs out, you can see I've got resources for days. He's got food for days. But if he can get those out, he could probably easily throw up another castle. I could have thrown up another castle like somewhere like right in here, just really box them out, or even right here, take out their watchtower and just start coming in and just start destroying, because yeah, that's what we do. So if you like this video, I really do appreciate any feedback that you can give. Again, I think we kind of got lucky with this one. I really truly feel like we probably could have fought on, but such is life, and we got the win out of this. Well, castle control in the middle, definitely a thing. So if you like what you see, please please subscribe. We are going to go back to Magic Arena content probably this week. Took a little break from that while I learned AoE, but going back to the stream yesterday and playing Magic was like, oh yeah, I remember why I love this game. I love this game too. Hope you like it. See you on the battlefield, my AoE anarchists. Happy hunting.